Hello, everyone. This is Neelam Pathak, founder and CEO of A Social Bay, and welcome to for this live session with Dr. Megha Bansal. Our session today is about bridging the gap and how mentoring can help the diverse talent. And we are joined by Dr. Megha Bansal, who has more than 15 years of experience in leadership coaching. She is an expert in performance coach and has conducted more than 7,000 hours of leadership training and coaching into various organizations. Now, mentoring is very important in terms of mentor shapes the life, and especially in today's fast-paced world, when individuals are looking to play vital roles into their careers, how their career journeys are navigated, and when you find the right mentor, it helps you to navigate and plan for your career journey. We often face gaps in our life in terms of when we see that there are skill gaps. We don't know which skills we need to upskill, or the knowledge gap and the guidance that we needed, or the networking gap, struggling to connect. What are the right network and platform to connect for, or the confidence gap? Sometimes we don't know how to be putting up our ideas. Now, today we'll explore the power of mentoring and bridging these gaps, and we'll discuss on the various other topics related to that and how mentoring has helped individual or helps individual. This is what we are going to talk with Dr. Megha Bansal. Dr. Megha, do you like to add up something into this?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Neelam. Thanks for scheduling this particular session and choosing this particular topic, which is actually so important because mentoring is such a topic which probably can shape different aspects when it comes to the leadership and industrial development. Now in India, here and there, we talk about the higher ups, even if we talk about our Honorable Prime Minister, everywhere we are talking about mentoring. See all the new initiative which the government has taken up. They are even promoting all the outreach programs by the higher educational institution and other industrial setup. So I'll strongly say this topic is probably the need of the hour, and we must discuss it from the different perspective and different dimensions, undoubtedly.
Surely, thank you, Dr. Megha. Let's start with a few of the questions that we have received, and whenever I interact with the people ask me, and in fact, I wanted to probe on these questions today, and wanted to learn and even so share that with our viewers who are watching us today. Why do you think mentoring is important for promoting inclusion in the workplace? Would you like to share your experience, and how do you think it can help?
Yeah, the same thing, Neelam, which I was telling that mentoring is so important. I'll definitely specifically give the example of workplace for promoting inclusion because with the help of mentoring only we can create an environment which is so supportive, and then only the workforce can feel that yes, they are valued at the workplace. And the moment we talk about mentoring, so it means we are talking about pairing the employees with the mentors, means pairing the mentees with the mentors. And when we are doing this process, so it means we are taking into consideration the people from diverse background, which is actually so important for any organization to grow. And when the people from diverse backgrounds are coming into picture for the mentoring, it means they are getting guidance, opportunities, and it just boosts up their confidence, which is actually needed for any organization, any industry to grow. And one more thing which I see, which is very important for mentoring, many a times when we go to the organization and talk to the people, they all are just so limited and they are so just stuck with unconscious biases. So probably that's what I feel, that somewhere if we start mentoring process which is in a constructive approach, which is highly intended, so in that way the people can definitely understand that what are the challenges they are facing, how the different diverse workforce has to be taken into account at different organizational setup, how we can address the challenges which they are facing, and how the mentees can even navigate their careers more confidently in a more proactive approach, and they can definitely not only contribute for themselves, but yeah, they can give a significant improvement and contribution to the organization itself. So, if I just jot down or if I just break down the benefits of mentoring, I would say promoting inclusion, definitely that's one point. removing the unconscious bias or addressing this point, which is actually so challenging nowadays. And yeah, if we are talking about diverse workforce, so yeah, giving them the required inspiration that yes, how they can move ahead. So yeah, mentoring is having a lot of benefits, I should say, and probably we should talk about it more and more. But yeah, when I'm talking about this particular thing, one important gap also I'm seeing nowadays in industrial setup, we are talking a lot about this process mentoring, but last many years I have not seen any kind of platforms or any such initiatives on a larger scale. I'm not say they are not, but yeah, there is a huge demand for such kind of setups wherein we are pairing and matching up the right mentors with the right mentee. So there is a huge demand for it, which I see probably definitely we need to talk about, we need to work on it, and yes, many people need to come forward for it.
Thank you, Dr. Mega, for sharing that insight, why it is important, and also the gap that exists today. You are right. There are few platforms they are doing in a very smaller scale, while
Yes.
we feel that it's very important that especially the sector perspective or the industry perspective has to come in, and this is what even during my career that I have realized. I was fortunate enough to have a lot of mentors, at least
You
for me.
also come from a industrial sector.
Yes, yes, yes. Let me also ask you, why do you think, or how can mentoring programs, especially I wanted to understand here with you on terms of the programs,
Hmm.
they can help attract and retain diverse talent? Because we have also been seeing challenge to retain the talent here. Now many people says, oh, because the generation Z is very fast moving, so we are not able to. And this is becoming one of the bigger challenges for HR, for the industries, for the organizations. How do you think the mentoring plays a role here, and how can it become more effective to retaining the talent?
See, Neela, what happens? I'm talking, though we have taken the topic of diversity and diverse workforces, but still, the moment I'm speaking the term diversity, the first diversity comes in front of all of us is the gender diversity. And especially, I believe you would have seen and you would have experienced in your career and your journey that women's, I'm specifically talking about the mid career women's. So, be it I call it the caregiving duties, the motherhood, the health issues, or the learning breaks. That's what I've seen, that bottlenecks always greet the working women at their diverse career stages. So, yes, I believe that we need to build a very strong supportive ecosystem, especially for the female workforces, women's, so that they are feeling more empowered. They are feeling, ki, yes, I'm having certain backs. It doesn't matter that whatever other duties I need to fulfill, but there are some people, there are certain mentors who are with them, who are with me, and they start feeling more empowered, they start feeling fearless, and they are ready to show their vulnerability. Yes, I need to do all certain kind of duties, but yes, I'm seeking a mentor who can help me, who can guide me to navigate all those challenges which are just unconditional, which are has to come in my pathways. So from this perspective, I believe this, yes, HR needs to take a very proactive roles, that how they can provide the mentorship to that particular segment, so that it will help them for the women workforce. They will not leave their job in their mid careers when they can definitely outshines. The second perspective we can look about it, any organization, when they are showing their proactive approach towards these kind of mentorship programs, so basically they are saying loud out into the society that yes, we are committed to our employees growth, and yes, we are promoting inclusion. On the other hand, when we are talking about these mentorship programs to retain the diverse talent, so yes, we are also telling quite louder that we are creating an ecosystem, we are creating a culture of womanhood, and we are ready to provide all sort of support system, the counselings, so that we can create a safe environment, a safe ecosystem where everyone is allowed, where everyone is invited to collaborate, to grow together. And not only mentorship, I believe the right amount of networking, community building, and most important, celebrating the success of each other. I believe all these things, if we start doing in an organization with the help of right mentoring and right networking system, so yeah, probably we'll not face the challenges which currently we are facing in terms of having the right talent and attaining and attracting and retaining the right talent, because that's a big challenge. Attrition rate, yeah, that's, you can better understand, that's a big challenge nowadays.
You're right, Dr. Megha. In fact, I was reading out a report which was published, and also as per the labor force participation rate data. If you see, 20 to 25% of the women, they leave their job during that mid-career segment,
Yeah.
because that is the time when they struggle.
Hmm.
I always keep on telling the people, women, when we say the life cycle, especially for the career and the life journey, these are inversely proportional, and that is the time when you have a family,
Absolutely.
when you are starting with a family, when you are picking up into your career, and that is the time which has been seen. And also the data says that is the time during the mid career journey that women, they leave their job either because of the family responsibility or due to the other responsibility that comes in.
Exactly.
And I believe that is the time when it is very, very important to have a right mentor who can help them guide that how they should navigate during that difficult journey, or career part of the journey.
Yes.
Now, coming to similar, connecting to that, now if we talk about that segment that actually puts a lot of stress, and I believe whenever I talk to women, they say, "Oh, how should I should balance," and then we start talking about balancing work and balancing life and
Hmm.
all the balance part. So if I have to ask you, what do you think are the main challenges faced by the diverse team, especially diversity from the genders perspective? I'm asking
Hmm.
in today's workforce, and how can you think mentoring can address it? Because this is important. Our data is saying that we have seen and we have also talked to women, and so I wanted to understand from you that what are those main challenges that you feel?
Hmm.
We have already touched base upon some of them, and how do you think mentoring can address this?
Yeah, that's a very apt topic and apt question, Neelam, which you are putting. If I talk about the challenges, especially the challenges faced by the gender diversity, especially I'll talk about the women. So for the last many years, we are talking about these challenges, but still these challenges persist. So the main challenge which I could see is, which we all have faced, is lack of representation. That's the biggest challenge which I have seen in the higher leadership roles. We see a lot of networking events, but still I do not see any networking event wherein the women have a larger access. So that is again one important challenge which I'm seeing, that they are having very limited access to networking. And the current challenge which is so prevalent nowadays, that is a cultural or gender based bias. These are, I would say, not the only challenge, but are the prime challenges which are being faced by the different diverse workforces, especially the females and the women. And if I give you some examples related to these challenges, we all have witnessed that there is gender ratio in the teams, that we all have witnessed. We all are having certain reports for that. There are biases in hiring, that is also one of the challenge. And I would just share with you some funny examples that how these biases are running around here and there. I have listened, I'm sharing with you the live examples. I have seen the people quoting very specifically that women are not good at finance and tech. These statements I have listened many times in many of the sessions. Or the people say so casually that if the women are newly married, don't give them any kind of main responsibilities role. So we need to hit those biases. These biases are, I'll definitely say, these are unconscious biases, but these biases are there with the people. And yeah, challenges keeps on coming, but the main important part is that how we will keep on addressing those challenges. So definitely, probably these few challenges I am seeing are to be addressed very recently, but yes, we can discuss more about it as per the time.
Surely. So you are right. Actually, there are unconscious bias also that sits into it. And especially, I would also like to share my experiences.
Hmm.
You know, I worked in the core industry of manufacturing for more than 22 years. And what happened is, whenever you change a role or whenever you change a work, you know, the organization, there is always things I used to hear. Oh, now you have to prove yourself that you're worth the position. And I was like, I have been proving it. I have been doing it. Why the thing is again asked and asked to prove yourself?
And how
Uh,
long you will keep on proving yourself?
yes, and I believe sometimes women have to do double to prove themselves that they are worth of having that job profile or the.
Actually, yes.
And what happened is this puts a lot of stress. This puts a lot of challenge, because they are, as I said, they are one way struggling with their new family, a new, career, life, child, everything, and on the side they have to keep on proving themselves,
Yes.
which I find that is the time. And I was fortunate enough, as I said, I had few industry mentors who helped me to navigate. I reached back to them again and again, and asking their advice,
Hmm.
that how do you think I should do it, or how do you think I should be balancing it, or this is what is being asked, how is it. And I have seen, if somebody is coming from the industry, they have seen what are the struggles, they are
Hmm.
able to help you better.
Yes.
And that is the reason I believe this is what has helped me as well.
Hmm.
And that is the reason I believe it's very, very important to have the people who understand the scenario, who understand the work environment that you work in. So let me also move to the next question. Do you think that mentoring women for leadership? Now we have talking about junior level, we talked about mid career, but then after child, there is a senior leadership position. There are we You were right. We have very few women who are at the senior leadership position, but mentoring women for their leadership is the only way to move ahead for the prosperous career and the better economy. Because, and how do you think the leadership mentoring or the coaching differs, or what are those additional inputs at that level? And if you would like to talk about mentoring at the leadership, for the leadership positions for the women.
Neelam, undoubtedly, I would say that when women will thrive in the world of work, so they are definitely better positioned wherein they can exercise their agency and they can realize their rights. So I have no doubt in saying it loud and clear that yes, when the women's mentoring start at the higher leadership role, definitely there would be a lot of boost in the economy. I'm definitely talking about our nation only. But the key or the important point here that not any job won't do that kind of economic boost or economic push. If the women are coming ahead in the workforce, the work must be productive, and at the same time that work should be in the condition of, I believe, in the conditions of freedom, equity, security and dignity. These are the few things I always keep on telling, that these few things are essential keys. I'll again repeat: freedom, equity, security and dignity. If these four things are being provided to the women, then definitely they can easily rise up to the higher leadership positions. And you are rightly telling that though you come from the industrial background, industrial setup, and you have seen yourself all such kind of scenarios and all such kind of live examples and cases, that how much dignity is being given to the females and to the women's at higher leadership position. Undoubtedly they need to prove themselves again and again, and many live cases are in front of us that we need to work upon pay transparency. We need to work upon equal pay for work of equal values. And most important, that comes in the career of every woman, the access to care services. If we start working on all these things from a higher leadership level, wherein the women are getting more support system for the leadership role, so definitely we can, probably, I'll not say we can just finish that, but probably we can uh, just close the gap, which is just the pay gap between the different genders. And at the same time, there are specific sectors wherein there is a very less participations of women's. I specifically quote the sectors which are coming from manufacturing sectors and other allied industries, tech and engineering as well. So there is very less representations of women in that sector. if we actually want to boost the economy and take the women to the high leadership roles, so yes, we need to promote more and more women and female workforce so that they can think about their career. I'm not talking about the mid level or the entry level career, the higher the leadership career in these sectors. So definitely, I believe that it is the need of the hour wherein we start investing our time, energy, skills, expertise, networking, collaboration, everything. Wherein we are not only just guiding and mentoring the women at entry level courses or entry level jobs, but yes, we are helping and promoting them to reach higher and higher to the decisive roles, the leadership's roles, the decision taking, the boardrooms. Yes, we need to work upon it.
Thank you, Dr. Mega. You touched base the right thing, and I wanted to give a data out here,
Hmm.
especially about the workforce representation. And if I talk about the manufacturing sector,
Hmm.
worldwide, we have approximately 28% of the workforce in the women in the manufacturing sector. But if you see that in India, we, especially in the manufacturing sector, that's 12%. And if I also add
That's
the allied
very low.
sector,
It's very low.
yeah, that is where. And then if I add the other allied sector, it becomes some 18%. So that means although we represent 50% of the population, but the
Hmm.
representation in this sector is very, very low. Now, and if you see sector like construction and all that, there it goes even less than 1%. So the
Hmm.
point here is that representation is not right there. So naturally, if there is not a right representation, the voices are also not heard,
Yes.
and that has been the experiences. Industry is trying to make, HR leaders has been trying to make a more inclusive workforce, and that is where my next question comes in. How can, especially for the HR leaders perspective, if you have to advise that, how do you think HR leaders can structure mentoring program if any organization have a mentoring program, or they wanted to seek for a mentoring program to be more inclusive,
Hmm.
so that the problem, because even though there is so many of DEI programs running, but we are not seeing the numbers moving up into the way it should be actually moving up, and that is a concerning point. So if you have to advise to HR leaders, how do you think the HR leaders should structure the mentoring programs to be more inclusive programs?
First of all, before giving any advice to the HR leaders, I'll say hats off to the HR leaders for taking up this initiative. Yeah, they are taking their due initiatives, but yes, we can never neglect that there are not any challenges. There are challenges. But I'll not say the easiest way, but the more effective way, which I believe that whenever they are launching any such kind of mentorship program, first of all, they should be highly intentional programs wherein they are talking about matching the mentors and mentees based on their goals, their objectives, their professional interest, not just the demographic similarities or the locational similarities. They should do more and more matching of the mentors and mentees, which includes a lot and lot of cross cultural and cross functional pairing. Because if we are trying to match up the two different cultures, the two different departments, the two different setups, the two different interest wherein we are I'll definitely like to quote the T model. We are not just not going deeper into the one single skill, but we are just broadening the horizon. In that way, the real mentorship program and the real expertise will come on the picture. And what it will give benefit to the organization, the first thing, it will enrich the experiences of both mentors and mentee. It's not a one side, it's a win-win situation for both. And at the same time, we will be able to address more inclusion of the diverse workforce. So we would be hitting many targets by launching one program, but the key is it should be highly intentional program. That is one thing the HR leaders can start doing, and definitely we should promote for it. The second thing, after doing all these things, definitely they need to work upon certain data. And the data could be, yeah, they can start measuring the retention rate, which the point we have just discussed. They can discuss about and deliberate upon the data of promotion rate of diverse talent, that what is the level that the different diverse workforce are getting promoted to the higher levels. Definitely, we can work upon the employees' satisfaction score, their engagement levels. In addition to that, when we are launching such kind of programs, so we can track the number of mentor and mentee peering. Definitely we can use some technology tools, and some kind of, probably some kind of tools can be developed around that, so by which we can definitely track the records of mentor mentee peering from diverse backgrounds. I'm again and again emphasizing that the peering of mentors and mentees should be as diverse as possible. It will help the organization to get into the picture the different viewpoints, the different expertise, the different thought process, and that is the key to success. Especially if I give you a few examples of the tech industries, I always quote the examples of Microsoft and Intel's. They launched this mentorship program, and after launching these program, they specifically shown the data that how the women and minorities empowerment took place, and how the organizations also grew. In fact, many financial firms also quote such kind of data, that when they start doing such kind of practices inside their organization, so they have seen not only the cultural boost, the retention rates were higher, but the productivity was also higher. So the benefits are so tangible, the benefits are so much traceable, benefits are much quantitative in numbers. So these programs are highly beneficial, and I believe, yes, the organization should make a chart and should devise certain mechanism, maybe collaborate with the people who are providing such kind of facilities, and yes, start thinking about, again I'll use the word intentionally.
Thank you, Dr. Megha. I believe so. You said along with the plan, there also should be an actionable plan
Yes.
and an intentional actionable plan that should be
Exactly.
more important because we do make a lot of plan, but
Mhm.
how well we execute it, what is the action happening, that's very very important. And I believe the whole effectiveness of such mentoring program can be measured only that. And it should not be only for the sake of that we are doing a mentoring program, but the KPIs or the actionable point should also be measured,
Yes.
and that's how the effectiveness of the programs can be measured, and
Mhm.
that's very very important. Very rightly said. Now, if I have to, now we talked about actionable steps. Now, if I have to ask you, what do you think are some of the actionable steps that the leaders can take to promote the, especially culture of inclusion through such
Mhm.
mentoring programs and networking programs?
I believe it is the role of leaders. Leaders only can come forward and say that we are the champions of these programs, and how they can show that by participating themselves. Because it's, I believe it's a top down approach, it cannot be a bottoms up approach. So if leaders are coming forward, they are telling that yes, we are participating in these programs and we are enrolling ourselves to be one of the mentors for the people. So I believe that would be the biggest push for the organization, and it would be helpful to launch such programs. The second thing, the leaders can have a lot of transparency in these programs. They should come to the different forums and different platforms and share the success stories of these kind of mentorship programs, so that the people start feeling ki, oh, it is not only for the paper, these programs are actually giving benefits to the people. And when I'm talking or using the word transparency, so yes, they should also allocate certain resources to ensure that these programs are accessible to all the employees. It is not for the selective set of people. Because if it is applicable to all the employees, I can upfront and loudly say that I need mentorship. So then only we are talking about inclusiveness. Then only we are talking about it. We are taking into account the diverse workforces. So that I believe is the role of leaders. Along with the leaders, I believe that there is a huge role of technology, because we are talking about a big step, we are talking about a larger step. So yes, that's, I believe that the future of mentoring will definitely start building upon taking the leverage of technology. Then only we can start enabling the remote mentorship opportunities. Then only we can break the boundaries of location and the geographical and cultural barriers. So definitely we need to take into account a lot of tech into that. And then we can start thinking about the virtual mentoring platforms, We need to take the use of, and we need to take the advantage and leverage of AI powered mentor matching systems, wherein we have the database of mentors, we have the database of mentees, and we can devise certain AI enabled tools wherein we can match that, yes, for this kind of challenges we need such kind of mentors. And a good mentor matching system is in place, which is accessible to each and everyone. So in that case, we are creating more and more opportunities for different workforce, and probably that is the way we will talk about more and more inclusivity. So these are two things which I'm thinking. And yes, if we start building upon it, so one is leaders are coming forward, we are taking the advantage of technology, in yes, giving more and more trainings. Once we start giving more and more trainings, I'm not just talking about only one on one pairings, but yes, giving training to addressing the challenges which diverse workforce is facing. And this training would be the combination of, I believe, three different pillars. The first would be the personal resilience. The individual needs to come forward with a lot of resilience. The second would come through the community support system. And the third would come through a lot of systemic changes, because I would definitely use the word, it is unfortunate to see the biases and the stereotypes still after so many years. But still, I'm again using the word, it's highly unfortunate to see that there are biases and stereotypes in certain industries, wherein you also said that there is a doubt on women's capabilities, that women need to prove themselves. So we need to break those barriers only through the systemic changes, especially in manufacturing industries and manufacturing setup. The people are having very less confidence that whether can women can live up to those expectations or not. That is the reason they are not able to move up to the higher levels, or they are not able to move to the leadership positions. So not only mentoring, but connecting the women with the other women and the allied group, wherein they all are having the same experiences, they can share their experiences, and they can provide the support, encouragement, and resources to each other. So, leaderships will play a role in providing the mentorship, in helping the women to build a strong network system. And I believe there is a huge gap wherein we are not seeing any such kind of, or very limited strong networking systems, wherein the women are able to connect with the other people of the same experiences, so that they feel empowered to navigate their challenges. They are getting more opportunities for growth, they are getting more opportunities for advancements. And lots of trainings are needed on assertiveness and advocacy. These trainings are highly needed, then only the women can communicate effectively that, yeah, these are my needs, I need to negotiate for the fair treatment and opportunities I also deserves. I'm not just seeking for the right position on the table, I need my voice to be heard at the right time. So all these things needs to be trained, and I believe it cannot be done without the involvement of the leaderships. It needs a right amount and right intent of leaderships at the right time.
Thank you, Dr. Megha. I believe one thing which really stuck out of what you just told, we need a community. We
Yeah.
need a community of the women to share their experiences, to learn from each other. And I believe that is where we see that there are very few, and that it needs to be strengthened more. If there are community from the industry, that will also help. For an example, the challenges of manufacturing could be different from the challenges from a financing or an IT sector,
True. Yes.
and vice versa. So the point is that kind of community, I believe there are few which, and I know that they are working very well. Industry is also trying to support onto that, but I believe we need more. And one thing which I believe, we need more and more women leaders, because more and more women leaders, that also means the voices will be heard,
Exactly.
their thought process and perspective will also be heard. And it is not only a pseudo representation of
Mhm.
the that yes, we do have women, but it should be an actual representation of what representation is there in the population. Now, we have discussed from the organizational perspective, we have discussed from the mentor's perspective. Now, I wanted to actually come from a mentee perspective,
Mhm.
because choosing a mentor or choosing a right mentor, that's also very, very important. And if I
True.
have to ask you, because we discussed, okay, what industry should do, how
Yes.
to run the program. But if I have to ask from a mentee perspective, who is struggling, who wants to have a support, who wants to understand and, work better for her career or his career. So what do you think the kind of qualities a mentee should look for, and
Mm-hmm.
also how they should be preparing so that they can get the maximum benefits of the mentoring sessions? Like, this is more from choosing a mentor in terms of the quality that they are seeing, and how do you think they should be preparing themselves for the mentoring? Because it should not be only, okay, now I have a mentor,
Yes.
but only having a mentor assigned is not going to work until unless both of them are going to work together. So how do you think mentee should be actually? And here I wanted to focus on from the mentee side, because both mentor and mentee play that crucial role to have that mentorship relationship successful. And
Mhm.
that's why it's very important from the mentee perspective also to prepare themselves for
Mhm.
the mentoring session. So how do you feel that they should be preparing? What qualities the mentee should be looking into selecting a mentor? If you wanted to talk about that, Dr. Megha.
Surely, certainly. Uh, for example, if I am a mentee, so what I'll do first? First of all, I need to be aware that yes, I need a mentor. That is the first and foremost requirement. Who will tell me that I need a mentor? Because I have not grown into the system where people are going for more and more mentors. So, who will give me this awareness that if you are struggling somewhere, if you are not able to move ahead in your career, you need a mentor? Who will tell me this? So, this is the first thing I will look for. The moment I understand this requirement of having a mentor, then my second question would be where I'll find the mentor. I cannot Google and I cannot find the mentors. Where I'll find the mentors? I am having certain challenges in my professional growth. Who will tell me that where I'll find those set of people? So the first question will be I need mentorship. That is the first question needs to be addressed for me. Where I'll find the mentors, where I'll see the pool of the people, then only I'll start getting finding okay, which is the best person for me who can guide me for this particular challenge. How I'll see a talent pool available for me, that would be my second challenge. Once I see the talent pool is available in front of me, then the question of coming that how I'll select the right mentor. Will any such kind of facility, resources, platform are available for me wherein I can go and find the right mentor for me? Who will tell me that how to find the right mentor? There are so many peoples available from diverse background, diverse experiences and immense experiences. Who will guide me, who will tell me? That's why I use the word we need a lot of technology interventions here. Who will guide me that if I am having the five problems, this problem has to be addressed first. So it means when I'm selecting a mentor, I cannot go for all five pointers at a particular point of time. Probably there should be someone who can guide me that yes, if you start addressing these two challenges, probably the rest challenges will be taken care by itself. Who will give me that due guidance? So before selecting a right mentor, I need a guidance, a counselor who can tell me all these questions. Then I'll step into the pool of mentor and mentees concept. And the biggest gap which I see here is the people get often confused between the words the mentor, the coach, the guide, the counselor, because these all words are being used so synonymously. So I should be very clear when I'm choosing a mentor. I'm not choosing a coach, I'm selecting a mentor. It means I'm looking for a specific challenge in my professional career for which I need to navigate through it. So it means I'm looking for the person from the same background, probably from the same experience, the persons who have already sailed their boats into such kind of ocean. So these kind of people I'm looking for. So there are huge challenges people are facing, and these are actual cases which we are seeing every now and then. That is the reason people are leaving their job. That is the reason they are not able to cope up with the work, and that is the reason we are seeing a lot of work life balance issues. People are getting stressed out, they are burnout because they're not getting right guidance, they're not getting right support system. So Mentor selection will come on a second stage. First, I need the awareness. Who will create that awareness? So I believe the first challenge is about the awareness. Then selection of mentor will be a smooth process, because the person who will guide me about this kind of thing definitely will eventually help me to reach to the right mentor as well. So this gap needs to be filled first.
Thank you, Dr. Megha. I want to ask you one last question, and then we would also like to talk about the platform that we have created for the
Sure.
mentoring. Many people often confuse mentoring and coaching. And you, with so much of expertise on it, actually, I wanted you to put up this in a very clear, because I have seen people talking and using this word simultaneously. Okay, mentoring, coaching, but I know and I understand mentoring is a different, coaching is a different. And if I have to ask you, how do you define how, so that we get more clarity onto this? How do you think mentoring and coaching are different? And and they have a very different perspective. They have a very different this thing when it is coming to having a mentor or having a coach. So if I have to ask you to have that for our audience and for our viewers, please help us understand this more clearly.
Though there are people who give different definitions, and I'll not go for any kind of definitions for it. What I have understood from my personal experiences, a coach is a person who give you a holistic view of everything. That is the person who we call the coach. Coach will not teach you that how to hold a bat, how to hit the ball. These kind of things coaches will not. Coach will tell you how to sail your boat in any kind of situation, how to cross the ocean, how to cross a dark forest. The coaches will give you all such kind of insights. But the mentors are there to tell you the specific thing for which you are struggling. If I'm not able to write properly, I need to improve my handwriting. So I'll seek for a mentor who can tell me that yes, you have to write it in this way. I need a mentor who can tell me how to grow my business. For this, I need a mentor. I need to understand that what are the nuances when it comes to customer relationships. I need a mentor from that background. I don't need a coach there. I need a mentor there who can tell me, who have seen such kind of situations earlier. So this is what which I could understand. Coaching
Surely.
is more of a holistic perspective.
Yes, thank you. So, for me to understand, mentor is somebody who has walked that path and then can help you walk the similar path if you are on. So, that is why we say if you have a industry mentor, that is preferred, because he or she has seen that path or
Yeah.
gone through that, and he or she will be able to help you better. But a coach is more of where you are seeing where you want a help for a more holistic perspective,
Holistic.
more overall perspective. That is where a coach will work in.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that for our audience and the viewers. And here I also wanted to add up, a point, because we have talked about that there are very few platforms, and especially when I talk about platforms which exist for industry, especially in the manufacturing and the allied sector, and that is where we have come up with WIMA, which is Women in Manufacturing and Allied Sector. It is a platform, and this has been based on the experiences that I have seen across the industry in, with 22 years of working there, and also while talking to the women there who are working in the industry, that this platform is just created where a woman who is, seeking for upskilling, to have a better, if one is looking for a better career perspective, what are the various skills in the industry, especially in the manufacturing industry, they can upskill themselves, whether it could be courses or the certified courses, a platform where they can actually search for the mentors based on to their skill and their preferences, a platform where they can network especially in the community which is more relevant to that industry. And
Okay.
also Vima is a platform that helps you to create that, networking into the platform, especially the platform and the forums created for the manufacturing sector, because in this way we are trying to build a community of the women from the manufacturing and the allied sector, where, as we talked about, where they can share their experiences, they can help grow the other women onto that, and the challenges that we talked about, the
Mhm.
midlife challenges or the leadership challenges or the, they can navigate through that. And as I said, mentoring, if And we are also inviting the people from the industry to become the volunteer mentor out there, to register themselves as a mentor who can help the women have a more longer career into the sector, more fulfilling career, and who can navigate, help them into the difficulties, because they have already done it. They know what is the best that works in. So we invite the mentors. They can come and register through the platform. This platform, what it does is, Dr. Mega, is it helps to find the right mentor and mentee match
Great.
based on their experiences, their skills, and also it helps them to find a better job opportunities, because where there if there are corporates looking to hire diverse talent, they
Mhm.
can connect onto this platform to get for the right talent. Also, if there are individual who's looking for a better opportunity into the sector, I believe that is where they can also look into the opportunities. This also helps to connect the individuals to network into the platforms which are created for the manufacturing sector, and where they can connect with the similar or people from the same industry. So I would like to invite people who would like to become the mentor, individuals who are seeking for upskilling, networking, coaching, and mentoring. They can connect onto the platform. And also the corporates, especially we have designed functional programs, behavioral programs, certification programs, and the other platform services for their workforce, where they wanted to enhance their DEI programs, or they
Mhm.
wanted to have mentoring programs, or the other functional programs. We can do the customized programs for them. So this is a platform. And as we were talking today, and I was just going through those experiences, and why I feel that this platform is going to help the women from the sector, and that is the need, because Weimar has a mission that we wanted to empower 1 million women by 2030, and that is with that mission we have launched this. And we are seeking support. We are seeking people to come and check that out. It can be you can anybody who's interested, they can check it through social www.socialbay.co.in/Weimar, where they can come to know more information about that. Or our webpage on the LinkedIn also can be, they can also follow that, where we keep on in fact publishing interviews for the women who have actually traveled that path. And there are many women leaders, and there are many other leaders who have actually registered with us for the mentors here. So, Dr. Megha, thank you again. And if there is anything you wanted to add up at the concluding session of this discussion.
I'll just say one point. Earlier, we used to take a lot of initiatives for environment protection, and we used to say that everyone should take the initiative. That in my lifespan, I'll just put 4 or 5 or 10 saplings and just help them to grow. In the similar way, now the society needs one more pledge, one more initiative, that in my lifespan, I will mentor 10 people and help them to grow higher and higher in their career. So if we start taking such kind of initiatives and pledge that yes, I'll mentor 10 people in my lifetime. That's a small thing, and I believe that can change the world.
I believe that's a very wonderful thought. I think let's take a pledge out here. I do mentor, in fact,
Yes,
unknowingly or
same with
knowingly, I do
myself.
mentor more than 10 people. And I believe there will be people who want to give back to the society. And what's better than sharing the knowledge, sharing
Just
the
10.
time?
Everyone can take the target of just 10 people. Then
Yes.
everything will be sorted out.
No, this is a very good concept and very good thought, Dr. Meba. Thank you for being part of this discussion. And it was wonderful for me to learning onto this, because, as I said, and similarly, I believe our viewers and the people who are listening to us must have learned a lot about whether they are coming from the industry or from an individual perspective, that how mentoring plays a role in defining, or people can define their career, a much better career, navigate through the challenges, and especially for the gender, especially for the diverse candidate, how useful it is, and why we all should pledge to mentor in our lifetime. And this is our way of giving back to the society. Thank you again, Dr. Mayor, for